Ethiopia is the only African country to have never been colonized, which has helped it keep its vibrant cultural identity intact. This beautiful country is famous for its historic fortresses, indigenous villages, and deep-seated customs and traditions. In today's video, let's take a look at some interesting things to do in this East African country. Stay tuned. Fasil Gebi. When you visit Ethiopia, it's worth spending some time touring the various castles and fortresses. The spectacular Fasil Gebi is one such architectural masterpiece that mixes both European and Nubian styles. The design of the castle is heavily influenced by Arab and Hindu architecture, while the medieval towers and stone facade were brought over by Jesuit missionaries. This fortress was built in the 17th century and was used as the main residence for Ethiopian emperors. As you tour the complex, you'll get to walk through the main Fasilides castle and the Iyasui's palace. In addition, you'll see Dawit III's hall, horse stables, an on-site library, and 3 neighboring churches. National Museum of Ethiopia. Visitors to Ethiopia will want to learn more about the history of this ancient country. You can learn more about Ethiopia's history at the National Museum of Ethiopia. The museum has 3 different exhibits with thousands of artifacts and archaeological finds on display. The most notable exhibit is the paleoanthropological section, which houses the remains of early hominids or apes. Here you'll find the skeleton of Lucy, whose fossil remains are over 3.2 million years old. She is believed to be the oldest remains of any human ancestor. The museum also has an exhibit for African art, as well as a display of historical memorabilia from ancient and medieval periods. The Blue Nile Falls. The Nile is the longest river in the world, flowing through 11 countries. One of these countries is Ethiopia. When in Ethiopia, you must visit the Blue Nile Falls. The dramatic thundering of these falls is guaranteed to take your breath away. Although it's only 138 feet high, this 3-streamed waterfall is shrouded in a fog of mist and often accompanied by the faint shimmer of rainbows. Getting to the falls can be time-consuming and difficult, so a tour guide is often recommended. You can either make the steep trek to the top viewpoint or take a motorboat to the base of the falls. It's a good idea to avoid going during the dry season from January to March, as there is little water cascading down the falls, Hara Jugal Wall. Being one of the oldest countries in the world, Ethiopia is home to historic towns. One of these architectural wonders includes the Hara Jugal Wall. Surrounded by deserts and barren savannas, the Hara Jugal Wall is a historic town located on the eastern side of Ethiopia. This walled city was an important trade center and even served as the capital of the Harari Kingdom from 1520 to 1568. Nowadays, Harar continues to be one of the most sacred Islamic cities in the country, with 82 mosques and over 100 shrines. The walls were built between the 13th and 14th centuries, although some of the mosques inside the old town date back to the 10th century. Stroll through the labyrinth of winding alleys and admire the colorful houses and bustling atmosphere that make Harar incredibly unique. Rift Valley Lakes. The lakes of the Ethiopian Rift Valley are some of the oldest and deepest lakes in the world. They are situated between the highlands of the Ethiopian Plateau and the Somalia Plateau and continue to have an important impact on Ethiopia's thriving economy. During your visit, make the trek to Lake Abaya, which is tinted a deep red due to sediments in the water. You can also go birdwatching at Lake Awasa, fishing in Lake Ziwe, and crocodile viewing at Lake Chamo. Yemrehana Christos. Built in the 11th century, the Yemrehana Christos Church is one of Ethiopia's best-preserved Aksumite churches. It was built inside a basalt lava cave, which makes it unique compared to other churches in the area. However, the most unusual things to see are the piles of mummified bodies that lay in the dark corners behind the church. Yemrehana Christos is relatively off the beaten track. After the long, bumpy journey to the entrance of the cave by off-roading vehicle or donkey, you'll need to hike another 30 minutes to reach the church. Aksum Obelisk. The massive Aksum Obelisk is one of the most iconic landmarks in Ethiopia. It was originally built in the 4th century by the ancient kingdom of Aksum, but was violently destroyed during an earthquake in the 16th century. The ruins were discovered by Italian soldiers, who took the pieces back to Rome. In 2007, the obelisk was returned to Ethiopia and reassembled where it stands today. It was considered to be one of the biggest moments in Ethiopian history. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed watching this video, remember to leave a like, subscribe,